Hello students, welcome you all to the next session regarding discussion of steam turbines, a continued part. So in the previous session, we have learned regarding introduction to steam turbines, theory of the steam turbines, classification, types of steam turbines. In today's session, we will be discussing regarding the blade efficiency conditions for maximum blade efficiency for a impulse steam turbine. So if you have any queries, you can send me an email to the email address which are already available on your screen, which I have highlighted here. So if you have any queries, you can send me an email such that I can clarify your doubts, or you can subscribe to my YouTube channel also. Also, you can send me a WhatsApp message also. So now let us begin with the discussion of the today's session. Okay, students. Now moving ahead. For a impulse turbine, single stage impulse turbine, we know that the tangential speed, that is the component of tangential speed, that is the delta VU, we can write it as plus or minus VU2. It depends upon the sign features. So if the VU1 is in the same VU1 and VU2, they are in the opposite directions. VU1 and VU2, they are in the opposite directions. Then we write this delta VU as delta VU is equal to VU1 plus VU2, provided VU1 VU2 they are in the opposite directions. If VU1 VU2 they are in the same directions, if VU1 and VU2 if they are in the same directions, that is in the same directions, then we write delta VU is equal to VU1 minus VU2. Regarding this, already we have solved one problem in the previous sessions. Also, there you can see how the value of VU2 becomes negative and how the shape of the velocity triangle changes. This is the first point when we take for the discussion of the single stage impulse turbine. Then another important point is here in the impulse turbines, single stage impulse turbine, if there is no frictional loss, then you can say that the axial thrust is zero. So when the axial thrust is zero, that is Fa is equal to zero, it means that the flow velocities at the inlet and the exit both are same, that is Vf1 is equal to Vf2. Also the relative velocities, they are equal to one another. So when this is the case, you can see here at the bottom we have shown the sketch of the inlet and outer velocity triangle, which are drawn separately for a single stage impulse turbine, At the same time, if I combine both these inlet velocity triangles and outer velocity triangles, as we have a common tangential speed for both, you can see here for the inlet velocity triangle we are having tangential speed u, whereas for the outer velocity triangle we have tangential speed u. So if I both combine these velocity triangles with the common tangential speed, then the new velocity triangle, it is in this particular type, new combined velocity triangles. You can see here in this picture I have shown new combined velocity triangles which are having a common tangential speed u. So in this picture you can see that the blue colored arrow mark lines which you are seeing, they are representation of the inlet velocity triangle, whereas the red colored arrow mark lines, they are representation of the outlet velocity triangle. Now with these things, let us move ahead. Generally, I told you we are having two types of forces which are developed on the rotor blades and shafts respectively. In that, the first one is the tangential force. And generally this tangential force is due to the change in the whirl velocity component or tangential component of the absolute velocities, that is VU1 and VU2. Therefore, we write this expression as Ft is equal to m by Gc VU1 plus or minus VU2 in terms of newtons. So already I have told you it depends upon the direction of the VU, whether you have to change it as a plus sign or a minus sign. So if both VU1 and VU2 are in the opposite direction, then the equation becomes Ft is equal to m by Gc V1 plus VU2. So as I have told here, the same points have been highlighted here. That is, if V1 and VU2 are in the opposite directions, then we take the positive sign. If VU1 and VU2 are in the same directions, then we take the negative sign. Similarly, the next force is the axial thrust, which is mainly due to the axial velocity components. So here the axial velocity components, they are nothing but the flow velocity components, that is Vf1 and Vf2. So difference between Vf1 and Vf2 will give you the axial thrust. So therefore, FA is equal to m dot by GC V of 1 minus V of 2. Again, it is written in terms of Newton's itself. So, if there is no axial thrust, then what happens? V of 1 is equal to V of 2, which means there is no axial thrust. So, therefore, FA is equal to 0 and V1 VR1 is equal to VR2. Then, this is an important terminology which you have learned, that is a blade diagram efficiency. So, generally, this blade diagram efficiency we are defining as the ratio of work done per kg of steam by the rotor to the energy available at the inlet per kg of steam. So at the inlet velocity triangle, whatever the steam is injected from the nozzle, it is injected with some kinetic energy, that is V1 square by 2g. This is the inlet energy available at the inlet per kg of the steam. Similarly, work done per kg of steam is the W. So the ratio of these two will give us the blade efficiency, or it is also known as the diagram efficiency. So W by V1 square by 2gc. W is U delta VU, that is V1 plus or minus VU2 by GC, or I can write as U delta VU by GC also, or 2U VU1 plus or minus VU2 by V square on simplification. That is, I said that we can write in this fashion, that is blade efficiency is equal to 2U into delta VU by V1 square. The next term is the stage efficiency. So in the stage efficiency, here also we are taking with respect to the work done itself. We say that the ratio of work done per kg of the steam by the rotor with the ratio of what? Isentropic enthalpy drop, that is H enthalpy drop, isentropic enthalpy drop, change per kg of steam in the nozzle. So mathematically, that is stage efficiency is equal to W by delta H dash not dash, or W you can write U into V delta VU by GC divided by delta H naught dash. Or if I multiply the above equation, if I multiply the above, multiply and divide the above equation by V1 square by 2GC. If I multiply and divide by V1 square by 2GC, there is no change. Here I am multiplying, again I am dividing, here it is V1 square by 2GC. No change in the entire equation. Then what happens? Let us see here. Yes, you can see. So what I will do, this U delta VU by V1 square, already we have learned just now in the previous derivation. This entire term together, it is, we can term this as the blade efficiency eta B, and V1 square by 2GC by delta S naught dash, it is happening with respect to nozzle. We can state this as the nozzle efficiency. So therefore, stage efficiency is the product of a blade efficiency and the nozzle efficiency, where nozzle efficiency is V1 square by 2GC divided by delta H naught dash, delta H naught dash. Now, this is a very, very important derivation where you can see we need to find out the condition for maximum utilization factor, or it is also known as blade efficiency. The condition is you should have equiangular blades. You should have equiangular blades. Equiangular blades in the sense beta 1 is equal to beta 2. These are the conditions, equiangular blades. Okay. Correction, here the spelling should be ENCY. Okay, students, blade efficiency. Now, you can see here in the picture, we are having a combined velocity triangle here, where I have already told you these blue colored arrow mark lines, they are representing with respect to the inlet velocity triangle, whereas the red colored nomenclatures and the arrow mark lines, they are representing the outlet velocity triangle. So generally, the main influence of the blade efficiency on the steam speed in a single stage turbine, it is mainly due to the effect of what? It is mainly due to the effect of the blade friction loss, and the relative velocity at the outlet is reduced and to the relative velocity at the inlet. So using this concept, we start the analysis. So therefore, I can write this as CB is equal to VR2 by VR1. So where CB is nothing but it is the blade coefficient, and it is the ratio of the relative velocity at the exit to the relative velocity at the inlet. So therefore, energy transfer for a work per kg of steam, already we have learned in our module number 2, that is our using our Euler's turbine equation. The same equation I am writing here, that is U is equal to E is equal to W is equal to U, VU1 plus VU2 by GC. As you can see here, the directions of VU1 and VU2, they are opposite to one another. This is the direction of VU2, this is the direction of VU1, they are in the opposite directions. So what happens? It is positive, or you can write it as U delta VU by GC. This is my equation number 1. From the inlet velocity triangle. So please observe here, everybody. Now I am saying with respect to the inlet velocity triangle, and in the inlet velocity triangle, if I prefer this particular triangle, see here, I'm highlighting this with the pink colored, the red colored arrow mark lines. You can see here, this inlet velocity triangle, this part. Say this as cos beta 1. So I can write cos beta 1. Cos beta 1 is equal to this adjacent side. So here the adjacent side is nothing but it is VU1 minus U divided by hypotenuse, that is VR1. The same I have written here, it is VU1 minus U divided by VR1. So I can write V1 minus U is equal to VR1 cos beta 1. This is from the inlet velocity triangle. Similarly, if I go for the outlet velocity triangle, please observe here with respect to beta angle. So this is my outlet velocity triangle, which I am highlighting with the green colored ink. You can see here. And here I am measuring the beta angle here. So cos beta 2 is equal to what here in this angle now? It is VU2 plus U divided by VR2 So outlet velocity triangle, it becomes this much. That is VU2 plus U is equal to VR2 cos beta 2. These are the equation number 3. If you observe our equation number 1, it is consisting of what terms? VU1 plus VU2. If I want to get it in this form, then what I can do here, I can add this equation 2 with equation 3. So if I add equation 2 and equation 3, the resulting equation I will be getting in terms of this one, VU1 plus VU2. So now what I will be doing the next step is adding 2 and 3 together on substitution and simplification. I get it as this form, that is here. If you observe here, these terms gets cancelled, minus U gets cancelled, plus U gets cancelled. You are remaining with VU1 plus VU2, that is of the energy equation, with VR1 cos beta 1 plus VR2 cos beta 2. Now again from the figure, already we know this delta VU is nothing but it is summation of VU1 plus VU2, and just now we have received the value of V1 and V2, that is VR1 cos beta 1 plus VR2 cos beta 2. Now what I will do here is I will take VR1 cos beta 1 as common. So when I take VR1 as cos beta 1 as common, the resulting equation is in this form: 1 plus VR2 cos beta 2 divided by 1 by VR1 cos beta 1. Or from the figure, already we have derived this in our equation number 2, that is VR1 cos beta 1 is nothing but it is VU1 minus 1. Already using this condition for the inlet velocity triangle, this is using this inlet velocity triangle. Already we know cos beta 1 is equal to VU1 minus U, this part, divided by VR1, that is I am substituting the value of VR1 cos beta 1 as VU1 minus 1. Then I will substitute this value of VR1 cos beta 1 V1 minus U only to this particular part. This value I will substitute only here, not inside the bracket, only here I will substitute. So after substitution, and the new equation which I get, it is in this form: delta V is equal to VU1 minus U 1 plus VR2 cos beta 2 by VR1 cos beta 1. Then already we have made an assumption that VR2 by VR1 is equal to CB, that is the blade coefficient. So in this equation number 7, I can write this as delta V for a given reactor beta 1 beta 2 are also fixed. And apart from that, when both are equiangular, that is cos beta 1 is equal to beta 2, then I can write K is equal to cos beta 2 by cos beta 1. It is a constant. It is a constant. K is a constant. So now with these assumptions of CB is equal to VR2 by VR1 and K is equal to cos beta 2 by cos beta 1, our new equation becomes, it is delta V is equal to VU1 minus U into 1 plus CBK, where CB is VR2 by VR1, K is cos beta 2 by cos beta 1. Already we know in the equation number 1, work done is U delta VU by GC. Delta VU is VU1 plus VU2. Directly we have the value of delta VU here. So as I said, we have already this equation, energy is E is equal to W is equal to U delta VU by GC. Already we have this term, E is equal to W is equal to U delta VU by GC. This is the equation number 1 which we have already written there. So directly I have the value of delta V which I'll substitute in this equation number 1, and the new equation which I will be having, that is now U delta VU is VU1 minus 1 plus CBK. So already regarding this VU1 also, if you observe here this VU1, please observe here everybody in the inlet velocity triangle. In the inlet velocity triangle, this part, please observe here this inlet velocity triangle. Yes, this inlet velocity triangle. If you observe very carefully, this angle, it is alpha 1. So what is cos alpha 1 from this inlet velocity triangle? Cos alpha 1 is equal to VU1 by V1, or VU1 is equal to V1 cos alpha 1. So the value of VU1, I am substituting it as V1 cos alpha 1 using this concept. Okay, students. So therefore, in terms of speed ratio, which you have learned in the module number 1, where pi is equal to U by V1, pi is equal to U by V1. So what you can do is, in the above equation, wherever U is there, you can substitute this speed ratio. That is, now here what it becomes, U is equal to pi V1 in the above equation. So therefore, I get it as in this form, or even I can write it in the same form itself. Then on simplification, taking V1 common, I get it as pi V1 square cos alpha 1 minus pi into 1 plus CBK by GC. So already know the energy which is available for the stimulated inlet, it is V1 square by 2 GC, which I can write it as in this form. So therefore, we know that the blade efficiency which we have defined previously, it is nothing but the ratio of the work done, the blade efficiency ratio of the work done to the energy available at the inlet. So W value already we have derived just now. So the value of W, which is written here in this entire equation, pi V1 square into cos alpha 1 minus pi into 1 plus CBK by GC, V1 square by GC. GC gets cancelled, V1 square gets cancelled, then you are remaining with the 2 pi cos, and pi is multiplied inside the brackets. So the equation you get it as equation number 8 as the blade rotor efficiency, which is varying parabolically for a given value of the nozzle angle, that is alpha 1, CB and K. So now if I want this particular equation to have maximum blade efficiency, then with respect to the ratio, that is d eta b by d pi, if I differentiate it equating to 0, then using this concept which we have learned in the previous sessions, that is for the maximum cases, speed ratio pi is equal to cos alpha 1 by 2. So therefore, I substitute this particular equation in the equation number 8, that is here equation number 8, I substitute the value and I write it as pi is equal to cos alpha 1 by 2. So therefore, the new equation now it is in this form. On simplification, I get the equation of blade efficiency as cos square alpha 1 by 2 into 1 plus CBK. This is so on simplification, I get this as cos square alpha 1 by 2 into 1 plus CBK. And you can say that if the rotor angles are equiangular, you can write beta 1 is equal to beta 2. So when beta 1 is equal to beta 2, then what happens? What is the value of K? It becomes equal to 1. VR1 is equal to VR2, that is the relative velocity blade coefficients, then CB value also equals to 1. So therefore, if I take this consideration as a CB, I can write a CB is equal to VR2 by VR1, and when both are equal to one another, then what is the value of CB I get? I get the value of CB is equal to 1 using this concept. Similarly, beta 1 by beta 2, the value of K also equal to 1 itself. So therefore, I can write this as beta maximum is equal to cos square alpha 1 by 2 into 1 plus 1, or it is cos square alpha 1. This is the condition for maximum blade efficiency of a single stage impulse turbine. So this is the derivation part. In the next session, we'll be studying some of the problems on the single stage impulse turbine by the graphical method. Thank you, students.